How to create an array question in LimeSurvey. I show a small example of this in this video. Hi, my name is Paul Borsdorf. I am an authorized LimeSurvey partner. If you need support in your work with LimeSurvey, feel free to take a look at my page, which is linked in the info card. Okay, I've created a poll here where we want to add an array question now. Here is a first example question. I click on it, go to edit, and then the first step here is to select the array question for the question type. Array questions can be found here below. There are a whole range of array question types. The most important thing here is the normal array question. All other question types are only easy variations of this. For example, the dual array has two scales on the x-axis. Here you have a few ready-made matrix questions. Up here 5 or 10 points or something like that are already entered. You don't really need that, because you can enter it yourself. Array texts are also interesting. There, the respondents can enter texts in the individual fields. Then there is array by column. Here the array is reversed, so to speak. So the respondents cannot give an answer per row as usual, but then per column. We go to the type array, go to select. The first step is to enter a question text here. I'll just leave this text here as a first example question, then you can enter this help text here or take it out, and then the really important thing for the array question are the sub-questions and the answer options. The sub-questions are the things that are on the y-axis, so to speak, where you can write down the different statements or the different points that are to be evaluated below each other. I'm going to do the very simple example here again with pizza, pasta, burgers, which should be evaluated, so to speak. It is interesting here that the codes are assigned with SQ001. So this stands for sub-question 1, 2, 3. You can leave it that way, but you can remember that this is just the coding for the sub-questions. Then we switch over here to the answer options. This is the labeling of the x-axis, so to speak. What can the answers to these various sub-questions look like here? I'll just enter something here now. Here, as always, is the tip to make the codes for the answer options purely numerical, i.e. to set them to 1 and 2 here, for example, so that it is later recognized as a numerical variable in the statistics software. That's actually it. I'll go to save and then we'll look at the question in the preview. This is what the array question looks like. Up here we have our answer options and here we have our items, and the respondents can then choose one answer option per line. It is important to know the coding of the array questions, and I have already said that the sub-questions are coded in this way. Later, of course, you will be interested in how you can find the questions again if you want to work on them further now. There are two ways to look at what the encoding looks like, and the first way is to look at the logic file of the survey. To do this, I go to the overview of the survey up here in the setting, and then we have tools up here, and there I can click on the survey logic file. Here I can now see what my survey contains. You can see the first question here, Q00, it is encoded, and then these three sub-questions that are included in the array question. And you can now see here how this is encoded, namely always the question code. Q00 was the default setting for this example question, underscore and then SQ001, so the code for the first sub-question. And that's exactly how it can be found later in the table of answers. I want to show you that you have also seen it once. So if I activate the survey once, I stay in open access mode. Then I run the survey once by simply selecting something here and sending it. And then let's take a look at the answers here in the survey menu. Then we now see here that this survey contains three variables, and here again our coding Q00 underlined SQ001 is the coding for the first sub-question with the answer I gave. So far as a small insight into the use of array questions. If you need support, feel free to write to me. My website is linked below.